What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide, back with another Dollar Store Sketchbook series installment. The saga continues. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're having a fantastic weekend. I'm currently working on a solo anthology called Visual Voodoo, which I now currently have two stories completely finished, and I wanted to see what they looked like in print, so I went ahead and did that. And spoiler alert, I did a full color Filthy Ralph comic, so stay tuned for that. So far I've got 16 pages finished, which is two stories. I have another 7-pager penciled, ready to be inked, and I have everything else lined up, ready to be penciled slash inked. So I'm shooting for 48 pages. It could go over, but I'm having a blast doing this. Again, I'm also adapting one of my short films, Afro Death. For those of you that are OGs to the channel, the short film I made where my brother throws the knife, I've turned that into a comic, and it's awesome. I showed it to him last night, and he really liked it. So let's dive into the Dollar Store Sketchbook number 2. So starting off, really trying to, once again, like, fill the page with stuff, is get as much ink down as possible. But these sketchbooks slowly turned into more character design stuff, so it's just sort of like one thing on a page, because I'm building like this comic book universe, and like with Visual Voodoo, the solo comics anthology that I'm gonna do, I'm just looking for cool characters to toss into these stories and stuff. I've been really considering adapting a lot of my short films into comics, because I can sort of, you know, it's there's not a whole lot of planning involved. Like, I have the storyboards, I have the movie to go off, so stay tuned for more of that. But once again, mishmash. This is actually a drawing of my father-in-law. I like this Hell pencils. Another little mishmash. When I was drawing that thing of my father-in-law, we were at my brother-in-law's place, and they have a cat named Oski, and I was like fucking around doodling it. I did a few like little kind of like one-pager cartoons, like small ones, and I left them there because they dug them. So there are a few pages torn out of this one, of course. This right here is probably my favorite thing I did in this sketchbook, but not so much the character, just these hands. I think that turned out really cool. I want to do something more involved with that eventually. A perfect example, like, I'm crazy about this stuff, but not so crazy about the character. I kind of like that much of them, but I went a little fucky with the lips, and this jacket just doesn't fit with this energy, I don't find. So I'll probably use that for something in an upcoming deal. Just a couple little quickies. These are something that I can do in like fucking, seconds, basically. I've drawn, whenever I don't know what to draw, especially back in the day, like if I was like at, fucking around my sketchbook, I got them like at work or something, and it's like a couple minutes to kill. What are you going to do? Draw a skull if you don't know what else to draw. So, and then Filthy Ralph, sort of a younger Filthy Ralph with teeth. Now, there are some pages in here I can't show because they're like concept ideas for the Visual Voodoo cover. So I'll skip those when I get to them, though. Sort of a sumo wrestler Ralph with big tits, greasy, rotten sushi, and we got the sushi boy. Again, like this is not how I draw Little Ricky, and once you commit with the pen, it's like, oh fuck, dope. Like that. Oh, this is a fun one. So this is like it's like a cross between a few characters at this point, but I like the shotgun. Okay, yeah, so that's the cover design. Okay, and then this right here, I don't give a fuck about this, but this, I was gonna adapt Scarface, the scene, the chainsaw scene. I still might, but these are like the very rough layouts of that Scarface scene. The chainsaw, I didn't finish it off, and then I ended up kind of narrowing it down to just 4 situations, and I did the first one with the bathtub scene. That's posted on Instagram. I think it's also posted on the stories of YouTube as well, or somewhere. Just trying to find, like, this is pretty close to the, it's not the exact layout, but those are kind of the fonts that I'm going with. Think like your Tales from the Crypt type thing, like 2 different fonts, really. This pipe makes appearance in both comics I've done so far. I'll show some pages of that at the end of this. Just more fucking around. Jay and Silent Bob. I watched Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, and I was drawing this. The only thing that I'm not crazy about this is Jay's hand. I don't really know. I was probably fucked on edibles when I drew this, but there's the ad for Visual Voodoo. I use this as a cover for this. Obviously, it's stretched like crazy. I'm not crazy about the stretch, but I really do like that. A R. Parrish Jr. Comics Anthology, the 187 rolling papers. This fly is a more involved fly than I usually draw, flying around these guys, coming in the ear and out the other. Another ad. This is Unseen right here. I never posted this one yet. This is one I got it. I got a new puppy named Onyx, and I had a shout out right there. I like this little guy right here for some reason. It's sort of like a Mickey Mouse meets fucking Plank. I think his name was Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy, that cartoon. This is really fun. Oh yeah, this is an idea I want to do in the future, like the TV with the teeth. And then this is it for this one. This is my favorite thing I did, other than those fucked up hands. I really like this. That's all, cunts. He's thinking about a carrot. So for $1.75, like, you can fill one of these little fuckers pretty quick. But again, a lot of pages got taken out. Like, this is supposed to be 40 pages, and it clearly wasn't. Now we're going to move on to the third book. Right here, same deal. Same price. $1.75, baby. And some random stuff here. These are like things that I drew at work and just taped in here. Sort of, I was drawing that Bullet Bill from Super Mario, like, by memory right there. I like the hatching on the handle of the samurai sword. This is a fun one. I actually really like the way this one turned out. My wife was like, I'd wear that on a shirt. I'm like, I think, like, the only thing I would change about this is I would fix the dope leaf. I would keep it a dope leaf, but I would fix it. This is a fun one. It's sort of like a stinky comic fan on his, like, getting up in the morning to go to a convention. He puts on his filthy old hat and has a fucking bowl of, like, sardine soup. Flies everywhere. Mom, you're gonna take me to the convention. I need comics and Yu-Gi-Oh. No offense if you like comics and Yu-Gi-Oh. I like comics. I haven't looked at a Yu-Gi-Oh card in years, but I liked them when I was a kid, so it's no shade. And if there is, then fuck you. Don't get burnt. Mickey Mouse. Mickey the Filth. Forgot about this one. I like this one. I'd put something on the shirt, though, if I was doing it now. Boom. Little Ricky, little prick with a fucking bong. See, that is a more happy looking version of Ricky than usual. Here's these are layouts for the Afro Death comic. I'm not going to show all these because it's sort of a giveaway, but I will show you. I'll show you something cool here. So this pawn shop page went from that to this. This is page 1 of Afro Death. I had a buddy that is his handle is Empty Can Revolution, and he messaged me the other night, and he's like, oh, like, asked me about some things, and, like, this is sort of going into that in a way, but again, I'm not going to show all these. It gives away my comic. That's it. Yeah. Got a Western dude, so I'm doing this Western story. Like, I've been talking about the Western comic for so long, and now Visual Voodoo is giving me the perfect opportunity to just do it in parts. Because Visual Voodoo is going to be like my ongoing comics anthology, and it's going to feature stories that span across the volumes of the books, and then once that story's finished, boom, I can make a standalone version of it, which will be fun. Rotten Revolver is the name, if I didn't already say that. Not too crazy about that revolver, but I don't mind this shotgun. Afro Death. Little head of Little Ricky. It's just like a kind of a mishmash of bullshit. This is a fun one right here. Obviously inspired by the likes of like Violator and Pennywise and all of our favorite killer clowns. I don't. The one thing about this that pisses me off is I would have made that scoop bigger and more greasy. But other than that, because like this scoop isn't making that scoop of ice cream. Like, let's be real. But Ren and Stimpy, Ren of course, flossing his fucking filthy teeth. This is a fun one. Sort of, again, sort of inspired by like Spumco, John K type shit. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for this one. So I'm going to give you a quick little... I showed you that front page of Afro Death, but I want to show you something out of this. So like this is the color mock-up I did. I also did a black and white mock-up. And no shit, to do this color mock-up cost $6.66, which is hilarious. I have a photo of it. So, Jesus Christ. I'm doing... I did a comic called Wasted, which is Little Ricky playing through a couple of Rockstar games. So Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, Manhunt, and Bully. So I kind of like showing this page right here because the Manhunt... I'm not going to show the text on these because it's sort of going to steal the jokes or give the jokes away. Yeah, color, it looks really good in color. I was wondering what it was going to be like, but... and then again, there's your front page of Afro Death. And then I'll show you a graphic one. Just to show you what you're in for. I don't want to show everything, but... There's that pipe. So that's that. There's the back cover. Wasted and Afro Death. So just the two stories in this one. This is, again, just for me to check it out and show my wife and my brother. So I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you leave a 666 in the comments. I also picked up some art supplies today. I'm not really going to do anything like a video about it because it's just a bunch of microns and erasers. But I grabbed... Take a look. I grabbed 301, 303, 305, and then 2 brush. Oh, and then 301s, if I didn't already say that. And then these are the erasers that I've been using. These ones are smaller than the other ones I was grabbing, but they're 69 cents. And like this will last me like a week before it's like yucky. Anyways, 666 and adios.